Mr. Speaker, and the leave of the House, if I may present the petition. Thank you.
Go ahead and lay a petition. Comrade Chinedu. Comrade Chinedu, go ahead and lay a petition. My respected colleagues, the first business of the day is presentation of 10 bills. I now invite the clerk to read their short titles.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, Witness Protection and Management Bill 2022, first reading. Tertiary Education Trust Fund Act Amendment Bill 2022, first reading. Nursing and Midwifery Registration ETC Act Amendment Bill 2022, first reading. Utilities Charges Commission Act Amendment Bill 2022, first reading. National Productivity Center Act Amendment Bill 2022, first reading. Employees Compensation Act Amendment Bill 2022, first reading. Survey Coordination Act Amendment Bill 2022, first reading. Small and Medium Scale Enterprises Development Act Amendment Bill 2022, first reading. Corporate Bodies Members Emolument Act Repeal Bill 2022, first reading. Marriage Act Amendment Bill 2022, first reading.
Colleagues, petitions earlier on late are hereby referred to Committee on Public Petition. My respected colleagues, the second business of the day is presentation of reports of the Committee on a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of federal medical centers and police matters. Standing in on Mohammed Budin, Honorable Budin is invited to present a report.
Honorable Speaker, my colleagues, my name is Honorable Engineer Muhammad Al-Wudil. I represent Wudil Garko Federal Constituency. The Speaker, I'm from Kano State. The Speaker, there's an act, a bill for an act to provide the legal framework to establish the federal medical centers and for other related matters Bill 2022. The Speaker, this is a report from the conference committee meeting for the establishment of about over 20 federal medical centers. The Speaker, I lay this report for consideration. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder, Honorable Dambe Lokumu.
Usman Bello Kumo is my name. I represent the good people of Akko Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion that the report being received and considered by this very good house. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable, would you go ahead and lay a report? Respected colleagues, the third order of the day is presentation report on the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to establish Federal University of Agriculture, Kaba, to make comprehensive provisions for due management and administration of related matters. Standing the Honorable Abdulganiyu Cook Oludodo. Honorable Oludodo is invited to move the motion. Oludodo not on the floor? It's unfortunate.
Mr. Speaker, since Honorable Olododo is not on the floor, I move that the bill be stepped down by the leave of the House.
End of the report, step down by the leave of the House. The fourth business of the day is presentation of 3 reports of the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services, standing the Honorable Aminu Suleiman. Honorable Suleiman is invited to present the report.
Yeah, the same way, Mr. Speaker, Honorable Aminu Suleiman is not on the floor. I move that the laying of the report be stepped down by the leave of the House. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Laying of the report stepped down by the leave of the House. Respectfully, the fifth business of the day is presentation of the report of the Committee on Pensions on a bill for an act to amend the Pension Reform Act 2024 to provide for the exemption of the Nigerian police force from the contributory pension scheme and for related matters, standing the name of Kabiru Alasan Rurum. All members will recall that the bill was referred to the committee on Tuesday, 21st September 2021. The report is ready for presentation. Honorable Rurum is invited to present the report.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Rurum was not on the floor. I move that the laying of the report be stepped down by the leave of the House. I so move.
Laying down of the report, step down by the leave of the House. My respected colleagues, the sixth business of the day presentation of reports of the Committee on Land, Transport, Ports, Harbour, Works, Housing, Habitat, Ecological Fund, and on the need to investigate the abandoned Bar report 19 months after commissioning by President Muhammadu Buhari, standing the Honorable Tajun Abbas. All members recall the matter was referred to the committee on Tuesday, 14 July 2020. The report is ready for presentation. Honorable Abbas is invited to present the report.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Abbas Tajuddin is not on the floor. I move that the laying of the report be stepped down by the leave of the House. I so move.
Laying down the report stepped down by the leave of the House. Respected colleagues, the first order of the day is the third reading of Bill for an Act to repeal the Custom and Exercise Management Act, Cap C45, Laws Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Nigerian Customs Service Bill, and for related matters, standing the name of the House Leader. All members will recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Tuesday, 12 April 2022. I therefore call on the Leader of the House to move that the bill be read the third time.
Mr. Speaker, my distinguished colleagues, Comrade Peter Ohiozoje Akpatasin, MNI, I represent the people of Akoko Edo Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Edo State. Mr. Speaker, I move that a bill for an act to repeal the Customs Excise Management Act, Cap C45, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Nigerian Customs Service Bill, and for related matters, HB 1729, be read for the third time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Whip.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Kiruka Onyejoch. I represent the good people of Isukwa to Munoch Federal Constituency. I'm from Abia State, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I rise to second that the Marriage Act Bill.
This one. This
I rise to second the motion as heavily moved by the House Leader that the Customs and Excise Management Act Cap C-45 laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 and enact the Nigerian Customs Service Bill and for related matters be read the third time. I so second.
Thank you, Honorable Lekki. Colleagues, the question now is that the bill be read a third time. Those in favor say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk is invited to read the long title of the bill.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to repeal the Customs and Excise Management Act Cap C-45 laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 and enact the Nigeria Customs Service Bill and for related matters. Third reading.
Bill read third time and passed. Respected colleagues, the second order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to establish Federal Medical Center at Deba, Gombe State, and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. All members should recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Tuesday, 12th April 2022. I therefore call on the Leader of the House to move that the bill be read the third time. Leader.
Mr. Speaker, and my dear colleagues, I move that the bill. Sorry, sir. Mr. Speaker, what I have here is a bit different.
Federal Medical Center Deba, Gombe State.
Sorry, I actually have a different document from this. A bill for an act to establish the National Institute of, establish the Federal Medical Center, Deba, Gombe State, and for related matters, HB 1847 be read for the third time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder will be Honorable Kumo.
On your direction, my leader, I rise to second that this bill be read third time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Dear colleagues, the question now the bill be read third time. Those in favor say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk is invited to read the long title of the bill.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to establish Federal Medical Center, Deba, Gombe State, and for related matters. Third reading.
Bill read the third time and passed. Respected colleagues, the third order of the day is the third reading of the bill for an act to establish National Institute of Oil and Gas Technology and Entrepreneurial Studies, Egbema, Imo State, and to make comprehensive provisions for its due management and administration, provide for detailed identification of areas in oil and gas technology and skills acquisition, entrepreneurial studies, and for related matters. Standing in the name of the House Leader, all members recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Wednesday, 13 April 2020. I therefore call on the Leader of the House to move that the bill be read the third time.
Mr. Speaker, and my dear colleagues, Comrade Peter Onyozo J. Akpatase in MNI, I represent the Akoko Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I move that the bill for an act to establish the National Institute of Oil and Gas Technology and Entrepreneurial Studies, Egbema, Imo State, and to make comprehensive provisions for its due management and administration, provide for the detailed identification of areas of oil and gas technology and skills acquisition, entrepreneurial studies, and for related matters. HB 1212 be read for the third time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder, Ragaja.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I'm Honorable Ragaja by name, presenting East Southern Independent Concern from Sokoto State. I read to second the bill ably moved by by my leader. Thank you.
Respected colleagues, the question now is that the bill be read the third time. Those in favor say aye. Against say nay. They are served. Clerks are invited to read the title of the bill.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to establish National Institute of Oil and Gas Technology and Entrepreneurial Studies, Egbema, Imo State, and to make comprehensive provision for its due management and administration. Provide for detailed identification of areas in oil and gas technology and skills acquisition, entrepreneurial studies, and for related matters. Third reading.
Bill read the third time and pass. My respected colleagues, the fourth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of bill for an act to establish a real estate regulatory council of Nigeria to provide efficient, effective, and transparent administration of the business of real estate management, real estate development, and prescribe minimum standards for the conduct of the business of real estate development in Nigeria, promote the real estate sector, and ensure the development, sales, and lease of plot, apartment, or building landed property in a transparent manner to provide globally acceptable standard of service and transparent administration of the business of the real estate development, and prescribe minimum standards for the conduct of the business of the real estate development in the Federal Capital Territory, and for this matter, standing in the name of the House Leader, Honorable Ahmed Kalambaina, and Honorable Blessing Onu, and 9 others. 9 other honorable members recall that the bill were consolidated on Tuesday, 15 March 2021, and I invite the leader to move that the bill be read the second time.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that the bill for an act to establish Real Estate Regulatory Council of Nigeria to provide efficient, effective, and transparent administration of the business of real estate development and prescribe minimum standards for the conduct of business of real estate development in Nigeria, promote the real estate sector, and ensure the development, sales, and lease of plots, apartments, or buildings, including land property, in a transparent manner to provide globally acceptable standards of service and transparent administration of the business of real estate development, and prescribe minimum standards for the conduct of business of real estate development in the Federal Capital Territory, and for related matters. HBs 1759, 1739, and 1896 be read for the second time. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Honorable Blessing.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Blessing Onyechonu, and I represent the good people of Otukpo in the Federal Constituency. I am from Benue State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second that the bill to establish Real Estate Regulatory Agency as it affects the Federal Capital Territory to be read a second time. I so second.
Respected colleagues, point of order. What's the point of order?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. I remain Honorable Osai Nicholas Osai, and I represent the Okwani Federal Constituency of Delta State. Mr. Speaker, you agree with me that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria vested the authority of land to the government of state of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And Supreme Court has also come to a conclusion on this particular issue. I might not avail you with the Supreme Court decision as of the moment on issues between Lagos State and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That has been tested at the highest court of law And we also know that the Constitution vests powers of the land certificate of occupancy to be issued by the state governors of every state. So they control the real estate in this country. So you see, on this ground, Mr. Speaker, the Constitution does not vest the power. I've looked at the exclusive list. It does not vest the power to legislate on real estate by the National Assembly. I have checked, cross-checked, and cross-checked on issues of exclusive list, which is here. There's no such power vested on the Parliament of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to legislate upon this particular item, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, sir. Well, first a clarification. I do not think we are talking about land. What we are talking about estate development. And estate development means management as to how you conduct your business in terms of providing accommodation. This is what it is. So it is totally against what you are saying, and so you are ruled out of order. The question now is that the bill be read second time. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Against say nay. Let's have it. Clerk is invited to read the long title of the bill.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to establish Real Estate Regulatory Council of Nigeria to provide efficient, effective, and transparent administration of the business of real estate development and prescribe minimum standards for the conduct of the business of real estate development in Nigeria, promote the real estate sector, and ensure the development, sales, and lease of plot, apartment, or building, landed property in a transparent manner, to provide globally acceptable standards of service and transparent administration of the business of real estate and development, and prescribe minimum standards for the conduct of the business of real estate development in the Federal Capital Territory and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to Committee of the Whole. Well, I think this is not room for debate. But I don't know, Osai, you have the tendency of using your legislative experience to do a lot of things. But on this particular matter, I want to tell you with honesty that land matter administration, that is the main subject here, is vested in the hands of the National Assembly, which, you know, will make all laws for FCT Abuja, and is that the code, apart from the issue that has been raised. And so go and study again, so that when we come to Committee of the Whole, those other loopholes will now argue there. Thank you. Thank you. Honorable Mamo, approach the chair. My respected colleagues, the fifth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act, CAP A12 Laws Federation of Nigeria 2004 to make provisions for the establishment of Federal College of Agriculture, Kumo, and for related matters, standing the name Honorable Usman Bello Kumo. All members recall the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 13 April 2022, and I invite Honorable Kumo to move that the bill be read the second time.
I'm from Gombe State. I rise to move that a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research College of Nigeria, Council of Nigeria Act, Cap 112, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to make provision for establishment of Federal College of Agriculture, Kumo, and for related matters, HB 955. We are allowed to pass for second reading. I so move.
Honorable Lorry. Are we still on course? Barrister, are we on course? Thank you. When I asked, are we still on course, my brother from Taraba was looking at what could be the reason. What trend am I asking? Wishing well for our brother, Honorable Namdas, to assume the office of governor of Adamawa State. Those in favor that the bill be read second time, say aye. Against, say nay. The ayes have it. Clerks invited to read the long title of the bill.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act, CAP, A12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to make provisions for establishment of Federal College of Agriculture, Kumu, and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to Committee on Agricultural Colleges and Institutions. My respected colleagues, the sixth order of the day is a motion on the committal of Nigerian Maritime Security Trust Fund bill, standing in the name of Honorable Abubakar Flata. Honorable Flata is invited to move the motion.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am Abubakar Hassan Flata. I represent Berniwa, Krikasama, Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, recommittal of Nigerian Maritime Security Trust Fund. House notes that Nigerian Maritime Security Trust Fund bill was passed by the National Assembly and transmitted to the President for assent. Observes that some fundamental issues which require fresh legislative action by the National Assembly emerged after a critical analysis of the bill by the Presidency. Cognizant of the need to commit the bill to address the fundamental issues raised in the bill, House resolves to rescind its decision on the bill as passed and recommit same to the Committee of the Whole for reconsideration. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
The only Shetima of the House.
Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable colleagues, I am Lawan Shetima Ali, representing Burusari Gaida Ministry Constituency. I stand to second the motion heavily moved by Honorable Plata. I saw second, sir. Was I?
You still want to contribute, Osai? Another point of order?
Mr. Speaker, when such bills have been forwarded to Mr. President for assent, the reason why Mr. President rejected the bill should also be unveiled to us, so that it enables the Parliament to be abreast with the cogent reason upon which Mr. President has rejected this bill, so that when we go to the Committee of the Whole House, we should be able to do the needful and cure and provide an avenue to cure those key issues. And whereby such information are not provided, we are left to just believe everything. Just believe everything that comes about it. That's my take.
Before the intervention from the chairman rules, I do believe this is not the first bill that we are recommitting to Committee of the Whole after President's rejection. It does normally come with the issues raised. This may be likely issue either legislative drafting language and minor issues. And so what we normally do is to again take it to Committee of the Whole. It is at that level you hear what are the reasons, because there will certainly be synopsis before the consideration. And I beg that you allow us pass this motion so that when we get to the Committee of the Whole, we do the needful. You still want to explain further?
Yes, I still want to.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. To address Honorable address the issues raised by honorable colleagues. The issue fundamentally, Mr. Speaker, relates to the percentage of deduction from the Federation account to fund the agency. That was the basis for the objection, for the rejection. So that one will be addressed and then returned to the presidency.
Thank you. Yes. Which is what will be done at the committee of the whole. Thank you. Secondary to the motion. You want to second still? Okay.
It's in the positive direction. I rise to second the motion, heavily moved by the chairman, business and rule, which is a lower rank than me. I so second.
In terms of respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The Speaker colleagues, the sixth order of the day is a motion on the committal of Nigerian. The seventh order of the day is a motion on need to address flood and erosion activities in Misau, Dambam, Federal Constituency of Bauchi State, standing in Honorable Ibrahim Makama, Misau. Honorable Misau is invited to move the motion.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Ibrahim Makama Misau is not on the floor. I move that the motion be stepped down by the leave of the House. I so move.
Motion stepped down by the leave of the House. Respected colleagues, the eighth order of the day is a motion on call for rehabilitation of Afaha Obong Eoyum Federal Constituency, Federal Road in Akwa Ibom State, standing in the no honorable Anekem Omana. Honorable Omana is invited to move the motion.
So, Speaker, also Honorable Omana is not on the floor. I move that the motion be stepped down by the leave of the House. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Motion stepped down by the leave of the House. Respected colleagues, the ninth order of the day is consideration of the report on the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal Medical Center and for related matters. Honorable members recall the report was laid on Thursday, 14 April 2022, when Mohammed Wudil would move for its consideration.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Engineer Muhammad Ali Wudil. I represent Wudil Garko Federal Constituency. I'm from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, this is a bill that the House consider the report of the Conference Committee on Bill for an act to provide for the establishment of federal medical centers and for related matters and approve the recommendations therein. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder, Honorable Ahmad. I'm talking to, yes, sir, it is.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My highly respected colleagues, my name is Honorable Yusuf Ahmed Bado, member representing Shannon Ogwe Federal Constituency. I'm from Kano State, sir. I stand to second the motion heavily raised by my honorable colleague. I so second. Thank you.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Well, yes, sir. Chairman rules. Move for the suspension of our rules to enable Honorable Aminu Goro present his report.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am Abubakar Samfulata. I represent Berniwa, Krika Sama, Kuri Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that we rescind our earlier decision in stepping down items number 3, 4, 5 from the order paper and to reinstate those items to enable Honorable Aminu Goro, who is now on seat, to lay the report. I saw
Alongside with Honorable Anasa Rurum,
okay.
Committee
also,
on Pension.
Also, item number 6 on the order paper to enable also Honorable Kabiru Hassan Rurum to also present to lay the report. I saw Mr. Speaker.
I don't know, who's that? There is somebody there? Yes, sir. Can you second, Barrister? Two barristers there. One I know practicing, one with the bench, and then.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable members, Kwamati Bitrus Lowry, representing Numan Delsa, Lamode Federal Constituency. I so second for the report to be laid. Thank you.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. The Speaker, the next business for the day is presentation of the report of Committee on Pension on a bill for an act to amend the Pension Reform Act 2014 to provide for exemption of the Nigerian police force from the contributory pension scheme and for related matters, standing in the name of Kabiru Al-Hassan Rurum. All members will recall that the bill was read the first time, was referred to committee on Tuesday, 21st September 2021. The report is ready for presentation. Honorable Rurum is invited to present the report. Your Excellency, Inshallah.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My respected colleagues, I remain Right Honorable Kabir Al-Assar Rurum. I represent Honorable Kuretibe Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Kano. I rise to move that the House do allow me to present the report, that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Pensions on a bill for an act to amend the Pension Reform Act 2014 to provide for the exemption of the Nigerian police force from the contributory pension scheme and for related matters. I so submit, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. The authentic Shetima.
Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable colleagues, I'm Lawan Shetima Ali, representing Bursari Gaida Ministry Federal Constituency and from UBC, sir. I rise to second the motion ably moved by His Excellency Rurum, Honorable Rurum. I so second, sir.
My respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Your Excellency, inshallah, can go ahead and lay his report. Respected colleagues, the next business for the day is presentation of 3 reports of the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services, standing in the name of the only comrade, Honorable Aminu Suleiman Goro. Honorable Suleiman is invited to present his motion, to present his report.
Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am from Kano State, Central Kano State City, and my name is Comrade Aminu Suleiman.
Cosmopolitan. I don't understand what you mean by Central Kano State.
He means
I'm
cosmopolitan.
by villagers.
No, I know the member.
I'll do it now.
There's a member municipal representing Kano, and I know you are not from the municipal. You are not the municipal member representing Kano.
He means cosmopolitan Kano, where everyone has come to converge there.
Thank you, sir.
By the entrance gate.
Thank you, Sir Donna.
Oh, you're accepting his explanation. He's an intruder because he's from the house here. Thank you, sir. My name is Comrade Aminu Suleiman. I represent Pagi Federal Constituency. I want to thank the House for giving us the opportunity, myself and Ruru, to represent our report for consideration of the House. I therefore move that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services on a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Education, IDERI, to provide full-time courses, teaching, instruction, and training in technology, applied sciences, art, social sciences, humanity and management, and to provide for appointment of the provost and other officers of the college to carry out administrative and discipline of students. Carry out the administration and discipline of students of the college and for related matters, HB 309. I also move that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services on a bill for an act to establish Federal Polytechnic, Ayete, Oyo State, to provide courses leading to the award of diploma, higher national diploma, and allies for the administration of the institution and for related matters, HB 310. I also move that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services on a bill for an act to establish National Institute of Industrial Technology, Kwale, to provide for its functions and management and for related matters, HB 9.
Honorable colleagues, please, order. Honorable Hembe.
I move, Your Excellency.
I thought Deputy Whip, you call Hembe with very good distinction, having known his ambition and the prospect. His Excellency.
Your Excellency, incoming, Hembe.
Seconder. Yes, sir. My runaway boyfriend.
I forgive you. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues. Dr. John Ye from Benue State, Boko Takafra constituency. I rise to second the motion raised by Honorable Aminu Suleiman for a bill for an act to establish the Federal College of Education IDERI to be laid the second time for the laying of the reports, and to support also the motion for a bill for an act to establish the Federal Polytechnic Ayete to be laid. Also, I support the motion for the bill for an act to establish the National Institute for Industrial Technology Quality to be laid, the reports to be laid, the 3 reports. I so second, Your Excellency.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Comrade, go ahead and lay your report. I think that was a supplementary for your side. Respected colleagues, the 11th order of the day is consideration of the report of the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services, and Navy on a bill for an act to establish an Admiral University of Nigeria, IBUSA, as conventional university with selected programs, limited and focused faculties to promote scholarship, research, and other means of advancement of knowledge and its practical application to military hardware and software as well as maritime, arts, science, and technology, and provide an opportunity for acquiring a higher and liberal education in Nigeria and for related matters. All members recall that the report was laid on Tuesday, 7th April 2022. Honorable Aminu Suleiman will move for his consideration.
Are we starting consideration, sir?
Consideration, yes.
Okay.
You are not ready?
No, I am. You will come back to this chair. Honorable Chairman, my respected colleagues, the first report for consideration has to do with the establishment of Federal College of Education, Oron, to provide full-time courses and instructions in technology and applied sciences. What is that?
Go ahead.
No, presentation. It's for consideration. Yeah. I therefore move, Honorable Chair, that the House do consider the report on the Committee of Tertiary Education and Services on a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Education, Omoaran, to provide full-time courses, teaching, instruction, and training in technology, applied sciences, art, social sciences, humanities, and management, and to provide appointment of provost and other officers of the college, and to carry out administration and the discipline of students of the college and for related matters, HB 131, and approve the recommendation as contained in our report. Honorable Chair, colleagues, I also move that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services on a bill for an act to establish Federal College of Education, Elebele, Ogbia, Bayelsa State, to provide full-time courses, teaching instructions, and training in technology, applied sciences, art, social sciences, humanities, and management, and to provide for the appointment of the provost and other officers of the college to carry out administration and discipline of the student and for related matters, HB 1507. And I also move that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services and Navy on a bill for an act to establish Admiral University of Nigeria, IBUSA, as a conventional university with selected programs, limited and focused faculties to promote scholarship, research, and other means of advancement of knowledge and its practical application to military hardware and software, as well as maritime, arts, sciences, and technology, and to provide an opportunity for acquiring higher and liberal education in Nigeria and for related matters, HB 1339, and approve all the recommendations as contained in our report. I move, Honorable Speaker, sir.
Seconder, Honorable Ali.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Respected colleagues, Ari Mohammed Abdel Mumin, my name, I represent Nasrau Total Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to second the motion. Every moved by a colleague, I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Respected colleagues, the 12th order of the day is constitutional report of the Committee on Petroleum Resources Downstream on need to investigate the importation and distribution of adulterated premium motor spirit, PMS, into Nigeria. Honourable members recall that the report was laid on Wednesday, 16 March 2022. Honourable Abdullahi Mahmoud Gaya will move for his consideration. I think, I'm sorry to say that it was not delayed, but consideration. So we're resuming consideration of the report. Resuming consideration. Mama, you have to move for the resumption of the consideration of this report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Honorable Ifeanyi Chudimoma is my name. I'm a member of the House Committee on Petroleum Resources Downstream. I do move that the House reconsider the report of the Committee on Petroleum Resources Downstream on the need to investigate the importation and distribution of adulterated premium motor spirits, PMS, into Nigeria and approve the recommendations therein. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder, Honorable Aga.
Thank you, the Right Honorable Speaker, my very dear and respected colleagues. I remain Honorable Avia Musa Aga. I represent Basa Jos North Federal Constituency. Your Excellency, I'm from Plateau State. I rise to second the motion, ably moved by my respected colleague. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. The next order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of bill for an act to amend the Appropriation Act 2022 in order to provide for please. The next order of the day is constitutional report of the Committee on Finance on the request by the President for revision of the 2022 fiscal framework. All members recall the report was laid on Tuesday, 12 April 2022. Honorable James Faleke will move for his consideration. In his absence, yes, Chairman rules.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I am Abubakar Hassan Fulata. I represent Pernio Krika Samaguri Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that the House do consider the report of the Committee of Finance, that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Finance on the request by the President for the revision of the 2022 fiscal framework and approve the recommendation therein. 1, that the oil price benchmark of $75 per barrel be approved. 2, that oil production volume of 1.6 million barrels per day be approved. 3, that petroleum motor spirit PMS subsidy of 4 trillion be approved. 4, that a cut in the provision for federally funded upstream projects being implemented by 200 billion naira from 352.8 billion be approved. 5, that an increase in the projection for federal government implementation independent revenue by 400 billion be approved. 6, that an additional provision of 182.1 1.45 billion to cater for the needs of Nigerian police force be approved. 7, that domestic debt service provisions of some 6.1 billion and net reduction in statutory transfers by 66 billion, 66.07 billion as follows. A, Niger Delta
Well,
Development
I
Commission.
want to beg that when we get into the committee of the whole supply, we'll be able to address those ones.
I so move.
Thank you. Seconder, Honorable Buba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Yusuf Buba Yakub. I represent Gombe Home Federal Constituency from Adamawa State. I rise to second the motion moved by Honorable Fletcher. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it.
Honorable colleagues.
Respected colleagues, the next order of the day is commencement debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to amend the Appropriation Act 2022 in order to provide for the premium motor spirit subsidy and to make adjustment on the schedule and for these matters standing in the name of the House Leader. All members will call the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 15 February 2022. And I invite the Leader to move that the bill to the second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Right Honorable Members. Ado Dogwa remains my name, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Members, I represent the people of Dogwa, Chudungwada Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Members, I am from Kano State. I rise to move for the consideration of a bill for an act to amend the Appropriation Act 2022 in order to provide for premium motor spirit subsidy and make adjustments on the schedule and for related matters, HB 1860 for consideration, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move.
Seconder, Deputy Chairman Appropriation.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my very respected colleagues. My name is Honorable Gariwe Uduma Ewu. I represent the good people of Afikpo North, Afikpo South Federal Constituency. I'm from Ebonyi State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion that we do consider the report. I so second.
The question now, the really raised content. Those in favor say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Clerks is invited to look at it with the bill.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the Appropriation Act 2022 in order to provide for premium motor spirit subsidy and make adjustment on the schedule and for related matters. Second reading.
Respected colleagues, The next order of the day is consideration of bill for an act to amend the Appropriation Act 2022 in order to provide for the premium motor spirit subsidy and make adjustment on the schedule and for related matters. Only members recall the bill was committed to the Committee of the Supply on Thursday, 14th April 2022. The leader will move for its consideration. The supplementary order paper.
Sorry, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable members. I rise to move that the bill for an act. I rise to move for the consideration of a bill for an act to amend the Appropriation Act 2022 in order to provide for premium motor spirit subsidy and make adjustments on the schedule and for related matters. HB 1860 be considered. Mr. Speaker, I so move for its consideration.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, Toby Okechukwu is my name. I represent an area of Goji River Federal Constituency from Enugu State. Mr. Speaker, if we're on the same page, I do not think the bill being proposed for consideration is the appropriation bill. I believe this more refers to MTEF. I believe this more refers to MTEF than the Appropriation Act. So if I'm not correct, then...
no, sir. These are two different bills. We have moved for consideration of the MTEF, and this for the appropriation. But you do know that I have explained to you, we'll go into executive session to address other silent issues that we may not like to go into the public domain. After the motion, we'll dissolve the House into committee, into executive session to have some little discussion. I plead with you, in the spirit of joint task force, to allow the motion pass. And please, please second. In the spirit of joint task force.
The paper I'm holding is
no, in the spirit of joint task force. I beg of you.
This paper is
in the spirit of joint task force. I beg of you. I beg of you.
The spirit is down.
No,
very, very down. Let the deputy chairman.
No, I kindly seek the fact for you. I believe because of the amount of we're all experiencing.
Well, I provisionally second the motion as moved by the leader. I saw second.
Thank you. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Leader. My respected colleagues, I now call on the leader of the House to move that the House do dissolve into executive session. Thereafter, we will proceed with the Committee of Supply and Committee of the Whole to consider the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My respected colleagues, Honorable Ado Dogwa is my name. Mr. Speaker, I represent the people of Dogwa, Chudungwada, Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I am from Kano State. I rise to move that this House, as directed by the Speaker, do move to executive session and subsequently Committee of the Whole and Committee of Supply to consider reports. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so concurrently move. Thank you.
My brother from Anambra. I don't know, between Abga and PDP, which one has a larger number? Has a larger number? Okay, so.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Obinna Chidoka, member representing Idemili North, Idemili South Federal Constituency of Anambra State. I rise this afternoon to second the motion as moved by the one and only House Leader. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. Let's have it. I didn't hear the Aga. You voted for nay? Okay, thank you. House thereby dissolved into executive session. Thereafter, we'll proceed to Committee Supply and Committee of the Whole to consider reports.